Hey everybody, Jeff Manchester here. Welcome to another Let's Play video. This time we're going to be playing with scoring guitars by Heavyocity. It's the third little Gravity pack. Gravity is their big bad platform for cinematic scoring and stuff. You don't need the full version of Gravity. This will run with the best bits of Gravity, like all the effects and stuff and trigger effects. But the sound sources are different. So in this case, we're using some amazing guitars. The second pack before that was Vocalize, which will make a little cameo later on in the demo track, which I prepared for this video. You've been to the channel before, you know that I do songs as demos instead of just pressing a few notes and explaining everything in the manual and calling it a day. That's lame. Let's use scoring guitars in a song context. So I'll play the song and then I'll come back, show you how I mixed it, how I made it, and why I think scoring guitars will make, I think, a lovely addition to your gentleman's library of sample libraries or your insane I need a new hard drive collection of sample libraries. All right, let's check it out. Right, okay, if you're still around, then you like what you heard, let's dive in and I'll show you how I made it. And by showing you how I made it, I'll explain all of the cool stuff that's jam-packed into this very affordable little sample library. I think it goes for about $100 US. So anyway, let's start up here with the amped guitar, or arped guitar I should say. So if we pull this up, we'll see that we have, it says pulse menu A minor. The scoring guitar sample library, a lot of the sound sources are divided between A minor and E minor, although we can change them here. We can transpose the key right down there. We can also go up here to the tune knob and change the pitch. And you can also go into the sample tab here and change the tuning right there with that knob. But I just decided to stick with the original keys, in this case A minor. So if I go down and I open this up here, you can see how I landed on this particular little phrase. I want to do melodic pulses. Yeah, so I probably hit this one right here. Just dragged it over. And I have an arpeggiator that I have from Ableton right down here. You can see that right there. So if I turn it off, it just sounds like this. I'm just holding my fingers down on the keyboard, on the keypad or whatever. And that sounds kind of cool, but it's plotting and kind of cool. But if I turn the arpeggiator on, I think it gives it some life and stuff. And I have some different rates here. The gate's up at 75, doing a 16 step for the rate, 5 steps down here. Turn it off. Turn it on. I'm just going over the keys and getting different sound sources. If you're familiar with Gravity, then you'll be familiar with this page here. We have reverb, chorus, delay, distortion. We have a really elaborate EQ. In filter section, we have the trigger effects here. We can load them up, and then we can trigger them right here with these keys right there. It's almost like key switches. We can turn them on and off. I didn't do too much trigger effect stuff in this particular song. And we have a really fun motion tab, which is really awesome too. I try to sort of keep it very simple. You can kind of tunnel vision and get really focused and go down some rabbit holes, which is one of the things that I like about Gravity. And if you like what you see here, then you should definitely download Gravity. It's got some extremely amazing pads and rises and hits and swooshes and stuff. A lot of really great stuff. So anyway, that's just a very quick example of the Pulse menu. And if I bring that up again, you can see it's right here. I can switch it out for something else. Let's go A minor forward. We're doing reverse and forward samples. If I go into forward here, just swap that out. Yep, that's fine by me. And play this back with the arpeggiator on, we'll get, different sound sources. Turn it off. Restart the MIDI. As it is, I quite like the combo that I came up with before, so we'll put that in. Now we have some really fun stuff here. I just duplicated the ARP guitar track, and let's check out what's happening here. If I just play this and solo it. I mean, it almost sounds like I'm listening to King Crimson, right? This is very frippy guitar stuff. Almost like his work with Brian Eno too. If you don't know who these people are, run, don't walk to go and Google them. Anyway, okay, so let's check out what's happening here. So I pulled this out of the A minor phrase menu, which is right back before, melodic pulses and phrase. And where did I get it from? Yeah, so I got it from here, phrase menu reverse. I just dragged this over. And if I put my hands over the keys here, so we're getting some very beautiful A minor stuff here. And of course we can run all of these sound sources through Heavyocity's little modules here, trigger effects and motion and all that cool stuff. And of course I forgot to mention the attack, decay, sustain, release. This is a cool little punish knob. This is basically, I think it's like a fun little compressor. If you played with Damage or any other of Heavyocity's instruments, I think they usually include a big punish knob right here. So watch what happens when I turn it up. Sample here, and this can change the sample start time. We can tune, we can pan. So I can change the start time. See the little slider there going back and forth? So now I can start it right from the crest of the transient. Or back here. If we go down here, we get, this is where I play with some pads. If I unsolo this and solo this, let's just have a listen to what's happening here. So I needed some low-end information. I needed something happening to sort of complement all the mid and upper mid stuff that was going on. And I did a little bit of automation here on the punish knob, which we can see. See it right there? Just to keep things interesting. And where did I get this little solar flares preset from? I believe I got it, yeah, right from here. So I can go all the way down and we can try different pads, but this is where I got it from here. So channel 3, solar flares, right there. So if I put all my hands down here and make a chord, I think it sounds really cool, but I think it's even cooler here deep down. It just adds a nice kind of droney quality to the track. You can see that it's very elaborate here. There's a lot of stuff going on the pads. We can choose a complex pad. We can choose some of the elements that I think make up the complex presets right here, which is what I did. I wanted something that wasn't too intense, that would take away from some of the melodic content happening in the 2 tracks above. Just something very simple. Anyway, that's where I got it from. But we can drag one over, Freeway Star, for example, and just play with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So if I just put my hands on the keys here, we'll get a more complex pad. And I can hear right away that we have some stuff happening in the EQ and the filter. Maybe the motion. Yeah, the motion's stuff going on here. I don't think I talked about Twist. Twist is, this really alters the tone of the track and really adds some life and vitality and movement. It's almost like it's oscillating a little bit. And I'm a sucker for aesthetics, which Heavyocity really nailed in Gravity and all the little scoring packs that come with it. So it's it feels really kind of futuristic and spacey, and I love a company that has taste. Anyway, now let's move on here. Now I said this is granular, but it's not. These are my granular tracks, and let me solo them both. I duplicated the track and I panned them hard left and right. This effect, which you're going to hear, almost sounds like we're putting it through a crystallizer by Sound Toys. But I think they achieve this through some granular synthesis. Let's listen. So I should say that for a long time I was going into this little sample library here in Samplephonics, and I was using ambient guitar for a lot of my guitar stuff, because a lot of people requested guitar stuff, and I'm not even going to play you this stuff. I shouldn't mention the name of another company. It's sacrilegious when you're reviewing someone else's sample library, but basically this library has totally supplanted my need for any other kind of drony ambient guitar stuff, because it's so beautiful. Just going to pan it to the center here. It's almost like 1,000 mandolins in space just floating. You can play with our trigger effects. Some fun panning there. Some filtering. And these are all happening right here. So this little section here, watch it light up as I put my fingers on the keys. Distortion, lo-fi, filter, panner, delay, and some motion effects right here. So that is how I achieved that sound. It was basically a really lovely little preset. Now let's get into some of the phrases here. So I have a small phrase that sort of takes the lead right here. And I got that from the little phrase menu here. Okay, so we have the A minor all phrases for it in reverse. So if I play a couple of notes here. So that's the reverse frippy stuff that I love. Okay, so if I play this back, watch the notes here. I'm not just pressing one note and letting it play a phrase. I'm letting certain phrases sort of play with each other. Watch this. And then I leave C and go down to G, and then back up there. It's important to note that we have just as much flexibility in the sample section here to change when and where these samples start, the panning, all the rest of it. It's extremely flexible. So I could just write new stuff in if I want to. Anyway, so you can do all kinds of stuff. Super flexible, super fun. Here I have some stabs, and I was really looking for like a really sort of electric guitar, overly distorted sound, and I was able to find it, which was really kind of fun because I didn't know that I would. Okay, let's see if I can find this Oceans of Metal sound that I came up with. Let's have a listen to it first. On its own, it's a little monster trucky, but I think inside of the mix, it really complements things. Okay, so I know I've explained this before. If we try and find it here, I think it's in complex pads, and then I go into, yeah, so right here, Oceans of Metal, and I can put my fingers down here. It's almost, it's very like My Bloody Valentine and stuff to me, some of the stuff that's happening up here. Brings me right back to 1997. All right. I was 11 years old. I wasn't listening to My Bloody Valentine at 11. I wish I was that cool. I have a little Native Instruments Rise and Hit happening here from the Rise and Hit library. Here it comes. Boom. Fun stuff, right? Especially if you have neighbors. And next we have, I should plug Vocalize because it's friggin' beautiful. A little vocalized phrase here coming. Also, very thankfully and felicitously in A minor. Perfect. And we're privy to all the great gravity stuff here, all the tweaking and effect stuff, sample, twist, punish, blah, blah, blah. So it's very, very helpful in that regard. And lastly, I have another little, I think it's a little phrase happening here. Let's just solo it. Little harmonic pulse. So A minor, harmonic pulse. I think I got it from here. Yeah, so 0-7. So right there. And it's fun to just sort of play around. I could play both C's at the same time. Go up here too. Okay. Now, a little bit about how I mixed it. I'm not going to spend too much time on this stuff because this is more about gravity and scoring guitars. But I've got a lot of automation happening. Automation is so important. So we have some delay, which I have on Ascend here, which I've automated. I've got some reverb too that I've automated. And like on every track, I usually have a utility plugin to manage some volume changes. So we have this dipping down here, and this is the rhythmic guitar, right? That we put up, that we cut up through our arpeggiator. Fun panning stuff happening with the granular guitar. So I have this doubled, and then I have it panned left and right. Right now I put it back to the center for the sake of the demonstration, but what else do I have here? Some delay panning at the very end, just so that things kind of lift off at the end. So just wait for it. It just kind of soars off into orbit. Okay, so it's reverb right there. Convolution Reverb, which is happening right here. Convolution Reverb Pro Giant Basilica. That's one that I use all the time. What else do we have? I don't think I have anything on the whoosh. I think on the stabs, I probably have, yeah, I've got some automation happening too, so that they fade out. So you can hear it go down here. And I've got some gain automation happening here on the opening section right there. So check this out. So it just gradually gets quieter to make way for what's happening upstairs right here. And what's on my master bus? Who really cares? It's not much. I just have this Greg Wells mix centric plugin here. I bought it recently. I was like, yeah, I'll try it out. It was really cheap because Waves had a really cheap sale. And that's it. So that's the whole track. Anyway, scoring guitars. That's what we're here to talk about, right? Scoring guitars by Heavyocity. I really like this. It has a tone and a quality just like Vocalize does. The tone maybe is or isn't for you, but I think you'll find a way to make it work with your mixes. And especially if you're a guitar player and you can't get those kind of cinematic quality, cinematic tones from your guitar, or it's a bit of a nuisance to record in a small space or when you have people around or whatever, this is a really great solution. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, Twitter, blah, 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 blah. If there's something else you want to, have me cover, let me know in the comments and take it easy.